Hello everyone, this is Wartooth with Annihilus Gaming. Today I'm going to bring you my Dragonknight stamina build for the Elder Scrolls Online. I wanted to make a build where everyone can easily acquire the pieces to put it together. I don't like having a build where you have to grind a bunch of PvE stuff, a bunch of dungeons, and everything like that. All this really requires is a little bit of play in the Imperial City and somebody that has a 9 trait crafting, and you're good to go. So without further ado, let's get into my equipment, my potions, my food, and all that good stuff. First off, let's get into the armor set that I use. I switched from using a 5 medium 2 heavy to a 5 heavy 2 medium set, and I'm running 5 pieces of the Black Rose, all impenetrable with max stamina enchantments. And then I'm running 4 McColden. Belt and bracers are medium armor with Divine's enchantment and stamina enchants on both. McColden weapons. For my main bar, I use a 2-handed mace with the Nirnhoned trait and decreased health enchantment. On my back bar, I use Sword and Board of McColden. The shield has Nirnhoned and a stamina enchantment, and the sword has defending with a increased weapon damage and spell damage enchantment. Also for my jewelry set, I'm running 3 agility. The 2 rings are robust with weapon damage enchantment, and then the necklace is healthy with weapon damage enchantment as well. Now, you can do reduce ability costs on the jewelry, but I prefer to deal the most damage. But you can easily swap those out as well if you wanted to. Into my food and potions. For the potions, I use a tripod. It restores health, magicka, and stamina, and then also gives you recovery bonus. And then for my food, I use a tri-food, a purple tri-food as well. Increases your max health, magicka, and stamina. Now, if you didn't want to increase that, you can use a purple drink that increases your recovery. I prefer to have the bigger pool to draw from. It helps out a lot easier for, or it helps out a lot better for resource management as well. So if you see here, my unbuffed stats, my max magicka is 14.4, maximum health is 28.1, maximum stamina is 36.6. I'm sorry, that's with my food buff. That's food buff. My unbuffed resistance is 25.5 for spell resistance and 22.2 for physical resistance. My unbuffed weapon damage is 24.4. And weapon crit is 28.9. Now, I use the tower for my boom that increases max stamina. You can use I believe it's the thief that gives you a critical chance, or you can use the serpent, which gives you stamina recovery. Like I said, though, I prefer to have the max resource pool to pull from. For my race, I chose the Nord because of its tankiness. Now, there are other races that are better for stamina builds, such as the Imperial, which gives you a stamina and health bonus, and then, of course, the Red Guard and the Orc are others that are better as well. But I would prefer to be a little more tanky and have survivability than being some sort of a glass cannon type build where you just deal a bunch of damage and die really fast, especially in Cyrodiil now where everyone likes to Zerg. It's nice to be able to have that survivability in there and still be able to deal a fair share of damage. I mean, 3,000 plus weapon damage is nothing to scoff at. Going into my back bar. For my back bar, I use Reverberating Bash, Igneous Shield, Volatile Armor, Shuffle, Vigor, and then Ferocious Leap. I was using Take Flight, but I switched to Ferocious Leap since it's not blockable now. Also, switching over to my main DPS bar, which is pretty standard for a two-handed build. I'm using a crit rush, dizzying swing to get that CC, knocks him up in the air. Reverse slice for my execute. Noxious breath for my dot, that really puts pressure on when you're fighting people, especially a 1vx situation. You can spam that and put pressure on your enemies. And of course rally, and then Dawnbreaker smiting. You can, if you really wanted to, switch that out to a werewolf bar. I've played around with werewolf. I'm not really a big fan of it, so I put Dawnbreaker smiting there. You could also go in and use one of the ultimates for the weapon abilities too. Berserker Strike and etc. Is also a good one to use. Now, I took a little bit of a hiatus from the game, so my champion points really are not up to where they should be. I took almost an entire year off, so I'm still trying to accumulate champion points. I've been grinding and stuff like that to get them. I just started playing again a couple weeks ago, and I started off at 388 champion points. Now I'm up to 403. But let's go into where I have spent my champion points so far. In the tower, I put 62 into Warlord, which reduces the stamina cost of spells and abilities. The Lover, I have 26 into Mooncalf right now. That increases your stamina recovery. The Shadow, I have 36 into Tumbling, which reduces stamina cost of roll, dodge, and break free. And then 10 into Shadow Ward, which reduces cost of blocking. Now, a lot of people that do stamina-based Dragonknights use the Sword and Board for their main DPS, and they would have a lot more points in the Shadow Ward because blocking and animation canceling are a lot more important when it comes to doing DPS with Sword and Board. Since I'm using a two-handed and I only have the Sword and Board for my back defense bar, I don't do a ton of blocking unless I'm in a really crappy situation where I'm getting totally taken on by like 10 plus players. Over on the Apprentice, I just have 5 into Blessed. That increases the effectiveness of healing done. The Atronach, Shattering Blows, I have 12 into Shattering Blows. That increases your damage against targets with a damage shield. So you can knock around them Sorks that like to stack damage shields and then blink away when you're kicking their ass. Melee Weapon Expert increases damage of your light heavy attacks with weapons. I have 12 into that as well. And then, of course, this is the main thing for stamina builds or any type of weapon-based build at all. This is the Ritual. I have 65 into Mighty, which increases your physical poison and disease damage. 20 into Piercing, which increases your physical penetration. 10 into Precise Strikes, increases damage and healing dealt by weapon crits. Now, I'm not really a big crit build. I only have right around 30% crit. I would put more into this if you wanted to go more of a crit build with like a Hunting's Rage type deal. Like I had previously I had the Hunting's Rage, so I had more points into Precise Strikes because I was running like a 42% critical. But now since my build is more for total damage, I don't have a lot on the Precise Strikes. And then I have 10 into increasing my DOTs. Into the Steed, 25 into Resistant, which increases your critical resistance. I have 50 into Hardy, 50 into Elemental Defender. Hardy reduces poison, disease, and physical damage dealt to you. Elemental Defender reduces flame, frost, shock, and magic damage dealt. And then Thick Skinned reduces damage you take from DOTs. That's Hardy, Elemental Defender, and Resistant are all things you want to put points into because that's going to make you be able to take damage without being a glass cannon. And then I have no points into the Lord. So let's get into buffed weapon damage and buffed resistance here. My spell resistance and physical resistance are 30,008, and my physical resistance is 27.5 buffed. And my weapon damage goes to 3,200 from right around 2,400, I believe it was. So that's a big jump there as well. I hope everyone enjoyed my quick overview of my stamina DK build. I wanted to make a build that anyone can easily accomplish and put together themselves with minimal grinding. All you really have to do for the Black Rose and the agility sets is play a little bit of the Imperial City. You get some PvP in there and some PvE. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't been there, I suggest it. Really looking forward to Battlegrounds coming up with the Morrowind DLC. And until then, I'll see you guys on the battlefield. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to leave comments below. Thanks a lot.